Welcome. My name is Dr. Zanetta Rego Kraft. I use the pronoun she and her. I serve as the director of the Intercultural Center and advisor to the President for Diversity and Inclusion at Monmouth University. On behalf of the Hispanic Heritage Planning Month Committee at Monmouth University, we are thrilled to welcome a digital reading of Elvira, the Immigration Play, to our audience. Please remain with us after this play for a storytelling workshop, the link of which will be shared after the performance. To get us started, please welcome Jessica Carmona, playwright and immigration rights activist.
Hello, everybody. Hi, thank you so much for that introduction. I'm so excited to be here, and I'm so thankful for the opportunity to share my play about immigration. I know that it's a very sensitive issue for a lot of people, and the immigrant rights movement has faced a lot of hardships this year. Most recently, the mass hysterectomies and the detaining of children in the cages. It's been a really, really tough year for immigrants, so I'm thankful for this opportunity to present this artistic piece and to open up a dialogue and a discussion about how we can begin to treat each other more humanely and focus on what we have in common instead of what's different about us. So thank you very much. The play that you're about to see is going to be performed by two wonderful actors. The first actor is Joe Loper. He will be playing the part of the immigration officer. And the second actress is Jenica Carmona Arandia. She will be playing the part of Elvira Arellano. This play will be directed by Misti B. Wills, and it was developed by CSIP Weather Productions, my company. We produce theater and film that speaks to social justice themes. It was developed in our company, and it has been performed in several cities, including Chicago and Dallas. And now, without further ado, we present to you this play. Thank you very much. Elvira, the Immigration Play by Jessica Carmona. At Rise, we are in Michoacan, Mexico, the childhood home of Elvira Arellano. She is 8 years old and she sits on a blanket playing with her 3 stuffed animals.
Lion, you are my favorite. I love you for your long tail. Oh, but Tiger, I like you too because of your stripes. And Cheetah, I love you for your big brown eyes. La 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 la. Oh, shh. We have to be quiet. We don't want to wake up Mama y Papa. Tomorrow is a very important day. And Mama says we need our rest. Dia de los Muertos is always so much fun, Lion. We are going to celebrate our family and friends who have died. We remember them as a way of keeping them alive. There are going to be pretty orange flowers and chocolate calaveras and tamales. Today in school, we helped decorate some sugar skulls for the ofrendas. Papa says he will let me get my face painted this year because I have been good. Mama seems so sad lately, Lion. She is worried about Papa's back. He could barely walk yesterday. And Papa and Ale are always fighting. Papa yells at Ale and I get scared. Why do people fight, Lion? Something about competition. Papa is not able to sell corn anymore. No one is buying. Sometimes he works at the furniture store to make money. Lucy and Carlito were not in school today. I asked the teacher where they were, and she said they had gone away. So many of my friends and neighbors are moving away. I wonder where they are going. Oh, don't worry, Tiger. Don't cry. Like Papa says, Elvira, no matter where we go, we will always be together. and we will always protect each other. We will take care of our land, nuestra tierra. Look, Tiger. Mama gave me this cross today after we left the cemetery.
Elvira pulls a cross from around her neck and places it around Tiger's neck.
She told me to wear this whenever I am sad or afraid, to remind me that God will always protect me. So now I give it to you. God will protect you too, Tiger.
She gathers lion, tiger, and cheetah together and assembles them next to her as she kneels to pray.
Okay, amigos, it's time to pray. Let's put our hands together like this, just like Mommy taught us. Dear God, thank you for the Day of the Dead, where we celebrate the life of our ancestors. Thank you for the butterflies and the pretty orange flowers. Thank you for the delicious tamales that Mama made, and for the sugar skulls and the candies. God, please help Papa get better. Please help him sell corn in the market so we can have more money for food. Please bring my friends Galito and Lucy back to school. Oh, and God, if it's not too much, can you help Mama y Papa buy me a new dress? Amen.
Lights fade to black. End of scene 1. Scene 2. At Rise, we hear the sounds of protesters outside of a federal building chanting in Spanish.
El pueblo viva, jamás será vencido.
As lights slowly come up, we are in the interrogation room of Officer John L. Williams, an immigration officer at the Immigration and Customs Enforcement Office in Los Angeles, California. There is a large desk center stage with a chair on either end. On the wall, a large TV. On the floor and around his desk are several cardboard boxes, packing tape, scissors, a desk phone, a framed family portrait, a cell phone, and a bottle of bourbon. The date is August 20th, 2007.
New York is the latest state to put illegal immigrants in the driver's seat. And I mean that literally. The state will stop requiring applicants to prove their status, a move that has immigration critics fuming. CNN's Jim Acosta is live in New York. Jim, what are the critics saying?
Well, Carol, Williams. Hey, man. Yeah, I got the bourbon. Thanks. Yeah, barrel proof. The good stuff. Heritage edition. Nice. Yeah, not bad for 10 years of service. How many do I get for 20? Should I bring it tonight? Are you kidding? Of course I'm coming. Think I missed my own promotion party? 6 o'clock, right? All right, save me some food, man. Later.
He takes a framed picture in his hand and looks at it for several moments.
Williams. Yes, sir. I just spoke with Frank. I'll be there. I'm looking forward to it. Yes, I'm almost done with the packing. Maintenance will stop by later on and help me move everything to the new office. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I just have this one more case and then I'll start heading over. Yeah, this celebrity activist. I'll take care of it. I always do. Who? No. I don't think she can. She hasn't been feeling too well. Maybe next time. Right. Okay. Sounds good. Thank you, sir. Williams, can you tell her I'll call her right back? I just have my hands full at the moment. Yes, I know it's her third time calling. I have to get this done. Thank you, Margaret.
He picks up the framed picture once more and looks at it for several moments. He replaces it. Lights slowly fade to black as he continues to pack. End of scene 2. Scene 3, same day, later that afternoon at the ICE building. A door slams outside. Abruptly, Elvira Arellano, age 31, an undocumented Mexican immigrant woman, is shoved into the room. She wears a crucifix and carries her handheld Bible. She is hot, sweaty, and panicked. She tries to open the door, which has just been shut behind her.
¡Abren! ¡Abren la puerta! ¡Saúl! ¡Saúl! ¡Tráeme a mi Saúl! ¡Saulito! Fuerte, Saúl, ¿me oyes? Fuerte, con la cara arriba. Mi hijo fuerte y valiente. Voy a salir pronto, todo va a salir bien.
John L. Williams enters the room. He speaks into a recording device.
August 20th, 2007, Officer John L. Williams, case number 637759. Please state your full name for the record.
¿Qué? ¿Dónde está mi hijo?
Please state your full name for the record.
¿Qué?
Su nombre. Your name. Who are you?
Soy una hija de Dios.
Is that right? Case number 637759. Please state your full name.
¿Dónde está mi hijo?
Your name.
Mi hijo!
Your name.
Mi hijo!
Please state your full name.
In strained English, Elvira reads from her Bible, Deuteronomy chapter 10, verses 18 through 19.
For the Lord your God loved the stranger, providing them food and clothing. You shall also love the stranger, for you were strangers in the land of Egypt.
I'm going to ask you one last time.
You shall not wrong or oppress a resident alien, for you were aliens in the land of Egypt. My name is Elvira Arellano, and I demand to see my son.
637759. Elvira Arellano, age 31, born in San Miguel, Corojuango, Michoacan, Mexico. 3 illegal entries into the United States, defiance of an order of deportation. Do you understand the charges being brought against you, Ms. Arellano?
Yes, I understand. You want to take me away from my son.
You want to take you away from your son?
Yes, you will not hurt my son. He is a child of God.
Your son has been placed temporarily with Child Protective Services until a decision can be made in your case.
You will not touch my son.
We have no intention of hurting your son. In this country, it's a federal offense to hurt a child. It's against the law. Are you familiar with the term illegal? I'm sure by now you must know what that means.
I want to see my son.
In Chicago, you were ordered to leave by the authorities. After refusing, you continued to live and work illegally. You used a false Social Security card. You falsified your name. And then you set up shop in a church in Humboldt Park. You evaded the law for 1 year. No, excuse me. You broke the law repeatedly for 1 year by living out of that church. Is this making sense to you, Ms. Arellano? Do you understand that you are breaking the law? That by continuing to live and work in this country, you were committing a federal offense?
I work very hard. I have a right to be here. I am a good person.
Yes, a good person, exactly. A good person who also happens to like breaking the law.
Outside, we hear the protesters chanting. Elvira walks over to the window and chants along with them.
Jamás será vencido el pueblo unido jamás será vencido.
Ms. Arellano, I need you to have a seat so we can finish these proceedings.
We come here to work.
Are you legally authorized to work in this country, Ms. Arellano?
We have a right to live and work where we choose. This land belongs to everybody.
See, now that's where you're mistaken. This land belongs to the American people, United States citizens. You do not belong here. You are not a U.S. citizen.
Yes, but I still
Getting back to this, what is your son's full name, please?
I need a drink of water, please. I am
What
hungry.
is your son's full name?
My son's name is Saul.
So what?
Saul Guillermo Arellano.
Thank you. And the father's full name?
I do not know his name.
Of course you don't. City and state of birth, please.
Is there water, please?
When we are done here, you can have some water. City and state of birth, please.
I was born in San Miguel.
Not you, Ms. Arellano. I know where you were born. Your son, su hijo.
He was born in Yakima, Washington.
What's the date of birth, please? Fecha de nacimiento.
18 de diciembre, 1998. He's 8 years old.
December 18th. Your son was born on December 18th.
Yes, yes, December 18th. Please, I need to see my son.
Did you continue to work once you moved into that church?
No, I could not leave the church for safety. They would take me. I no could work.
So you knew that you were breaking the law by being there. You knew you were doing something wrong. You've been hiding from the police purposefully.
No comprendo.
Oh, I see. You no comprendes. Right. See, I think tú comprendes muy bien. You were sent the NTA, the notice to appear. You were ordered to appear before immigration court and you refused. El aviso de aparecer en la corte. It was written in Spanish for you. Do you know how to read, Ms. Arellano?
Yes, see, I know how to read. I saw the letter.
And you chose to run from the law, isn't that right?
You people don't understand.
What don't I understand, Ms. Arellano?
You put on your uniforms. You have your folders, your maps, your offices, but you don't understand anything.
Again, what don't I understand, Ms. Arellano?
I am a child of God, and we are all equal in the eyes of God.
Exactly. We are all equal. And just like all the other cases I've processed today and yesterday and the day after that, you are going to be treated equally.
You cannot throw me away like a
You are not legally authorized to be here.
Please, Senor, please, do not do this. My son is here. Please let me stay with my son.
You can stay with your son in Mexico, not here.
But our life is here. We are here. We have a home in Chicago. You should know. You have a son.
You leave my family out of this. No one told you to come here.
We had to.
No, you didn't have to. You chose to break the law and bring your violence and crime here, just like all the other... The face of the new sanctuary movement, the modern-day Rosa Parks, a human rights hero, front page news in 5 publications, Time Magazine Person of the Year. You have quite the fan club out there. I'm not impressed. The truth is, Ms. Arellano, that you are no different than the hundreds of other illegal aliens waiting outside to sob the same story. Cross the border, get a job, start a family, and then claim you have the right to be here. The right. And why? A son born on U.S. soil. That legitimizes you, makes you different. You broke the law, Ms. Arellano. Doesn't matter who's outside chanting for you. It doesn't matter what you believe in. Doesn't matter how many magazines and newspapers choose to write love stories about you. You are no different than all the rest. You are a criminal.
I am not a criminal. Just because I moved to a new country? Just because I wanted a better life? You do not own this land. You do not own anything. This land belongs to God, not to you.
Ms. Arellano, this is the United States of America. Your country is Mexico. Do you see this? This is where the United States begins and Mexico ends. This is my country, and that is your country. You see this line right here? That's called a border. And when you cross that border without a visa, without documentation, you're breaking the law. And when you break the law, you get arrested.
Who made this border, huh?
Excuse me?
I ask you, who made this border, this line?
This is a map. Una mapa. Los Estados Unidos. Frontera.
Sí, frontera. But now you tell me, who made this border?
This border was made by the country of
You
the
think
United
you can
States.
play with a map, draw some lines on a paper and solve the world's problems? You think this is going to solve everything? Senor, we are human beings, not Mexican, not American. We have to eat, we have to sleep, we have to work, just like you. Like you say, you just say there is no difference. Your lines, your divisions will never change that.
There is a difference. You're breaking the law.
No, the law is breaking me, breaking us.
Then stop fighting it and obey it.
I cannot.
Oh, you mean you will not?
Please. I only want to stay with my son.
Speaking of your son, we've now wasted over 15 minutes that you could have been with Saul. Ms. Arellano, if you insist on wasting any more time, I will arrange for no visitation to happen. Maybe we'll have to deport you before you can say goodbye to Saul or even see your attorney. Is that what you want?
No, senor, please. I only want
Is that what you want?
No.
Good. Let's wrap this up, shall we?
I think you are afraid. Yes, you are afraid. You are running a country based on fear. Huh?
Afraid.
Yes. Yes,
Ms. Arellano, I'm not going to engage you about a debate of the laws of the United States. Save it for your comrade. Save it for your ride back home.
You are all filled with so much hate and fear. Why? Why do you fear us so much, senor?
The only thing that Americans have to fear is that people like you are going to take away good American jobs. Maybe we're afraid you're going to suck up our resources without paying taxes, that you'll join gangs and start selling drugs. Maybe you'll kill innocent children even.
Senor, I have done none of those things.
Your people are responsible for God damn it.
My people what? What did my people do to you?
It's hot. It's humid. It has been a long day. Let's go on.
What happened?
We're going to finish this interview.
Tell me, senor, what did my people do to you?
I'm ready to get this done.
You say you're not afraid, but look, you are afraid to talk.
What are you talking about? I'm not afraid to talk to anyone. I'm talking to you right now, aren't I?
You are afraid to talk about what is important. You don't have courage to talk.
I have better things to do than waste my time talking.
Who was it, huh? What was it? What happened to you that you have so much?
Nothing happened to me. Let's get this done.
I am not like you say. I don't join gang, I don't kill, I don't hurt people. We are not like this.
Ms. Arellano, you understand that your son is a United States citizen, that by law he is authorized to live here, but you are not. And you will be deported back to Mexico today with no delay.
Elvira points to the folders on his desk.
How many today?
What are you talking about?
3, 5, 10? How many you deport today?
Ms. Arellano.
You like separating the children from families? Do you celebrate this?
No, we don't celebrate separating families. That's not what we do here.
Yes, this is what you do every day.
We uphold the law and we celebrate a job well done.
Your laws, they hurt people. People die every day because of your laws.
No, people die because they don't obey the law. Our laws and our walls are meant to protect people, not hurt them.
Ay Dios, you will not hear any other words. You don't understand humanity. You don't understand real life.
We are not going to drag this out any further. Understood? I have a celebration to get to tonight. You have your protesters, your Bible, your God. I have the law. Yes, the law. And the law trumps God.
You know only what you read in the newspapers, what you hear in your trainings, what you read in your manuals. You do not know us. You do not really know our story.
I know all I need to know about you people.
I have not done anything.
You or we had the chance to. You were going home today and you were not coming back. For this to happen, I need to close your file and process you for deportation. For that to happen, I need to write this report and finish it today. So, I will ask you questions and you will answer them honestly, briefly, and clearly. If you refuse, I will arrange for an immediate deportation to happen within the next 20 minutes. You will never see Saul again. Now you tell me right now, will you comply or not? Will you comply?
Yes, I comply.
Good. What made you come here?
As Elvira begins to tell John her story, in answer to his questions, she fades into a memory of her childhood in Michoacan, Mexico.
The town I was born in, Michoacan, it was a farming town with agriculture, fishing and corn. El maíz, this was the base of our economy. Every day, even with his pain, my father went to that farm to work and to sell his corn. My mother sold milk, she cleaned and took care of the house. Without complaint, they worked to take care of their family. They were hard workers. My brothers and sisters and I, we would gather around Mama as she taught us how to peel the corn. This is our tradition, handed down from your ancestors many years ago, from God. Without corn, there is no country. It was our life. We were tied to the land and to each other.
A house, at least one working parent, and corn. So what went wrong? What made you come to the United States?
In Mexico, we were happy. It was hard sometimes, but we had each other. We would chase the butterflies when they came. A beautiful sight. Do you know, Senor, about the annual flight of the butterflies?
How exactly does this pertain to your case, Ms. Arellano?
They migrate, as the birds do, every year to a warmer climate. They travel thousands of miles, starting from Canada to the US all the way to Michoacan. There is a magnetic force from the earth that tells them where to go. It takes them 4 generations to reach their home.
Are you trying to compare the criminal activity of human beings to nature? This is about you breaking the law.
They cannot survive where there is no heat, no food, where there is danger. It is unnatural for any living thing to stay where it cannot survive. Nature itself shows us how natural and beautiful migration is.
Strong family values, strong cultural values, strong connection to the land, to corn, and butterflies. Did I miss anything?
NAFTA, North American Free Trade Agreement.
What about it?
Bueno, it changed everything. We could no longer sell our corn.
Oh, darn, you couldn't sell your corn. How's that our fault? How's that our problem?
Because it was cheaper. Your big agriculture companies, they began to import American corn, American seeds.
Free market policies, free trade.
Small farmers, like my father and my uncles and my neighbors. This is how they made their living. We were a farming community, an agricultural people. We grow our food and sell it at the local market. And now there is no point in growing corn because we can no longer sell it. You invest 100 pesos, you can no longer make it back.
There are ups and downs to every economy.
My people spend their life sembrando la tierra, planting the land, planting our lives. It's not that we want to come here. It's the big American business. They receive money, subsidies. And now Mexicans buy more corn than we produce. So where do we work? How do we live? Where can we go?
There are other types of work.
Farming is our life. This is what we do from the time we are born. It is all that many of us know how to do. Señor, as human beings, we do what we have to do to survive. And if we have to cross the border to do it, we will.
You were at the Alberto Methodist Church for 1 year. Was it at this church you learned to be an agitator?
In the Methodist Church, with Pastor Coleman and the students, I began to read books. And we studied, we prayed. You should see, Señor, how the people came together. White, black, Latino. We got together and we studied history. The young college students, they helped me to understand NAFTA and the political situation. They helped me understand that the United States is part of the problem.
Sounds more like an activist camp than a church.
There was a college student, a young woman. She told me about a famous American book, The Grapes of the Rat.
Wrath. The Grapes of Wrath.
Yes, eso mismo. It was about an American family migrating like us, Farmers, traveling to find work on the farms. John Steinbeck.
Steinbeck. John Steinbeck.
Yes. The students, they tell me it's one of the greatest American books. That in your schools all across the country, people read this book.
Yes, it's a classic.
The George family, they suffered. They traveled for work thousands of miles, but they never gave up. They kept on trying.
Your point?
We are not so different from this family.
Ms. Arellano,
And this woman, Rosa Parks, Susan B. Anthony, and Martin Luther King. So many examples, Señor, of people in your country breaking laws, fighting to change the laws that hurt people. What do you think of this?
nothing to do with your case.
Pastor Coleman preached to us about.
Mr. Coleman sure preached a lot about breaking the law, didn't he? Did he ever preach about actually, obeying the law?
No, I don't think he wanted us.
Right. He was only led to read you verses that he felt supported his cause, his ideology.
What do you mean? No.
You love to read from that Bible of yours. I bet Coleman helped you memorize those verses that you keep quoting.
They treated us well, okay? Have you read the Bible?
Yes, I have read the Bible.
All of it?
Parts of it.
He reaches over and takes her pocket Bible from her. He flips through it to find Romans 13, 1-3.
Let every person be subject to the governing authorities, for there is no authority except from God, and those that exist have been instituted by God. Therefore, whoever resists the authorities resists what God has appointed, and those who resist will incur judgment. What do you think about that? Ms. Arellano, did Pastor Coleman ever preach about that?
Senor, this is a different part of Scripture.
He flips through the Bible. He flips through her Bible to find another verse, Titus chapter 3, verse 1.
Remind them to be submissive to rulers and authorities, to be obedient, to be ready for every good work.
This is a misunderstanding of the Scripture. Senor, this is.
He flips through it again.
Do we then overthrow the law by this faith? By no means. On the contrary, we uphold the law.
Elvira takes her Bible back from him and flips through it, searching for her defense.
So far, you've told me about your childhood in Mexico, corn, family ties, and cultural traditions. But you haven't told me why you shouldn't be deported today. You haven't proved to me why you should be allowed to stay in this country.
I told you. We lost our jobs, our farms. This is why.
Plenty of Americans go through harsh economic times. It doesn't give them the right to cross a border illegally into another country and start working. You weather through the harsh times. Try to make it work.
We do try to make it work. We borrow money from our friends, our neighbors. We band together and squeeze into each other's houses, but...
But what?
Do you know how long it takes for us to finally make this decision to cross? How many hearts we must break before saying our goodbyes? We do not make this decision to cross quickly or easily. I will never forget the day my brother, Ale, came home with blood on his face. My mother was screaming. My father was so angry he could not speak. We tried everything. We begged him, Ale, please don't do this. But he would not listen. He was so tired of struggling, of seeing Mama y Papa suffering. My mama kept telling him, we will get through this. We trust in God that he would provide. But Ale wouldn't listen. He came home with a tattoo and a gun. He thought that was the way. Gangs happen. They grow where there is little opportunity.
Economic hardship is not an excuse for joining gangs.
No, but do you understand how young men are pushed to join these gangs? I saw people killed.
I don't need you to tell me what gangs do.
You take your job very personally. You have children, yes?
No.
No? Bueno, a child... What, the picture?
I said, no, I don't have any children.
When we were in the church, Saulito used to ask me, Mama, why do we have to hide here in this church? Why do people want to take you away? Why can't we stay together? How do you explain these laws to a 7-year-old boy? So instead, I would read books to him and help him with his homework and pray with him. I want him to have a good future. I want him to go to college one day. I don't want him to go through all of this.
Saul is a United States citizen. He can stay here if you wish. There are good, hardworking American families willing to help out. I can generate a list of adoption agencies for you.
Adoption? No, I do not believe in that. A son needs his mother. A son needs to be...
I know what a son needs, so don't start... Let's move on, shall we? There's a raid at the airport. You were arrested.
Yes. It was a surprise. We were all surprised that morning. My friend Jose had a pregnant wife. He had just arrived to the US. They had to go back to Mexico that day.
And you were arrested as well.
Senor, you have no idea what that humiliation feels like. It was a terrible time. The women were screaming. The officers stripping us down, searching us like we were criminals. The people in the airport staring at us.
They were doing what they had to do.
What they had to do? Senor, if you could only see how they came at us like an army, like we were in the middle of a war.
They were doing their job. They were protecting the airport.
Is that what they tell you in your trainings? That it is okay to treat people this way in the name of security?
You're out of line, Ms. Arellano. 3,000 people died from a terrorist attack just a year before. 3,000 people. Innocent civilians, workers, families. We had to do something. We had to protect our country.
It does not give them the right to
You were
treat
telling me
us.
about the raid at the airport. Soon after that, you went to that church. Is that correct?
Yes. This is when I went to stay at the church. In this church, I was able to see the hand of God in action. It was there that I began to see that this struggle was not only about me, it was about a group of people all fighting for the same thing. It showed me what belief in God could be. But it was not just a belief, it was a practice, an action.
Ms. Arellano,
Elvira,
excuse me?
my name, Elvira. Call me Elvira.
Come again?
Miss Arellano, ma'am. 637.
What are you talking about?
You are angry, senor, with me or with God, with the world. This is personal for you. I can see this now.
This isn't personal. You broke the law.
Then to you, the law is personal.
Ms. Arellano,
Elvira.
Ms. Arellano,
Elvira.
637759.
Elvira. My name is Elvira. Elvira Arellano. Why won't you say it?
I will terminate this interview.
Call me Elvira. I am a mother. I am a sister. I am a human being, and I deserve respect.
Sit down.
Say my name.
One more outburst and I'll have you handcuffed to that chair, Miss Arellano.
There. You see it? There it is. That anger. So much anger. What is it, Senor Williams? I have offended you?
Stop it.
I have crossed a line?
Stop it.
What line? Your border?
Stop this.
I have pushed your buttons.
Calm down.
Ruffled your feathers?
Calm yourself.
Is it harder to be angry at an actual person?
He takes out his handcuffs.
That's it.
Say my name. Say
She
my name.
struggles. She struggles being handcuffed to the chair.
I am Elvira.
You are nothing. You're a field rat in an ocean of files that look and sound the same. You don't have a face or a story or a prayer. You have nothing. You are nothing. And you are going back to Mexico where you'll have nothing and be nothing. Do you hear? You are going home and there is nothing waiting for you there.
Maybe it is not just me with nothing waiting for me at home.
Shut up, Elvira.
I think I've pushed the right button. I want a glass of water. I cannot drink with this handcuff.
Use your other hand.
I cannot.
He uncuffs her.
You were in sanctuary in that church in Chicago for 1 year. Then you decided to get up and go to Los Angeles to another church, support their marches out there and preach.
The church invited me to speak, and we listened to the testimonies. No one tells you what we go through to get here. And if you knew, maybe you wouldn't be so cruel. Maybe you would understand that crossing the border to the other side is our only hope. Do you understand, Senor Williams, what hope is? Do you understand it is all we have? Do you even remember what hope feels like? We remember. That is why we are here. We are fighting for the right to hold on to a sense of hope, of possibility. The border is our hope. It is our only chance to survive. We do what we have to do to save our families.
I can see you care a great deal about your family. I cared about my son. Your people, ones you fight for. There were two men, hooded, walking. They were running from the police. They were members of a gang. My wife, my son, and I were out. It was dark, and they started shooting, and...
I'm so sorry.
Are you? You sit here and tell me how I am wrong. How I am the one that has wronged you? The truth is, Ms. Arellano, that if your people weren't in this country, my son would be alive.
I only wanted a better life.
You should have stayed at home.
I'm sorry about your son, but not all of us are.
Stop talking and listen. Listen why I tell you a few things about God, about hope, about who deserves to live and who doesn't. How about holding your dying son in your arms as he struggles for life? How about watching his eyes twitch and turn as he struggles to fight off the pain of a bullet shot into the side of his body? How about standing over your only child's hospital bed, insanely hoping for a miracle, that somehow God would intervene and save your only son? I did feel hope. I did feel possibility when they took him to the emergency room. I felt hope when he blinked an eye. And then he tried to smile. And God, I prayed. How I prayed. Please, please don't take my son. My only son. And you know what God said? Nothing. God said nothing. He let my son die there. He's just a boy. He's just a little boy. Where was God then? How does a little boy deserve to die? This is it. This is the end. I can't stop them from deporting you. Elvira Arellano, God is dead.
John exits. Elvira is left alone in the room. She sings to herself softly.
Tan cierto como el aire que respiro, tan cierto como la mañana se levanta el sol, tan cierto cuando yo le hablo, él me puede oír.
End of scene 3. Scene 4. Elvira appears on one side of the stage with a suitcase, and she addresses her supporters outside of the building before she is escorted to her car.
Brothers and sisters, thank you all for your support. Although this feels like a defeat on our side, we must not give up and we must never give in to fear. This fight is not yet over. The people united will never be defeated.
She raises her fist in the air as a sign of solidarity with her supporters. She chants with them.
El pueblo unido jamás será vencido.
John appears on the other side of the stage in his office. He holds the framed picture in his hands. He weeps.
We must remember to keep on fighting. But when we fight, we must also remember that we have all been hurt. We have all faced pain. We have all suffered, not just immigrants.
End of scene 4. Scene 5. Elvira's childhood home in Michoacan. She addresses lion, tiger, and cheetah.
Hello, my friends. Lion, tiger, cheetah. It has been many years. Soon you will meet my son, Saul. He will like you.
She unpacks her bags. She takes out her Bible. which she places on the blanket. Then she takes out the book, The Grapes of Wrath, from one of her bags.
Here is a book they gave me at the church. Someday I will read this to Saul.
She opens the book and reads from it, silently. John appears with the grapes of wrath in his hand. He reads from it. It's as if they were there in the same room. She looks up and listens to him reading it.
Here is the node. You who fear change and hate revolution. Keep these two squatting men apart. Make them hate, fear, suspect each other. The danger is here. For two men are not as lonely and perplexed as one.
He looks out, deep in thought. Lights fade to black. End of play. Okay, are we on? Okay.
Wow. I just want to say thank you. And for those who are joining us live, I hope that you are giving a strong round of applause. We will be sharing the link to join us for the storytelling workshop on the stream, and it will appear shortly.
Thank you.